welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a closer look at Activision Collection 1 for Evercade. This cartridge includes 15 classic titles from one of the most influential publishers in gaming history. So whether you're familiar with Activision's early catalogue or coming in fresh, there's a lot of interesting design and gameplay packed into this collection. In today's video I'll be giving you a quick overview of each game. Nothing too long, but just enough to give you a feel of how each one plays, what makes it stand out, and whether it's something you might want to spend your time with. Let's get into it. Pitfall is a side-scrolling adventure where you navigate a jungle filled with hazards, like pits, scorpions and crocodiles. The gameplay loop is centred around running, jumping and timing your moves to survive the environment while collecting treasure. It's straightforward but challenging, and the obstacle variety keeps it interesting from start to finish. Even today, Pitfall holds up because of its strong pacing and satisfying movement. There's no combat, no power-ups, just platforming and exploration. So if you enjoy mastering timing and routes through levels, this one can still offer a good bit of replay value. River Raid puts you in control of a fighter jet flying over a narrow river. You'll need to manage fuel, dodge obstacles and destroy enemies as you scroll forward at a steady pace. It's easy to pick up, but things ramp up quickly, especially when tight navigation becomes key to survival. What makes River Raid stand out is the balance between fast reaction and resource management. Refueling adds tension, and the limited space forces you to think carefully about your movements. It's a high score chaser, and it still works well in short bursts. Enduro is a racing game focused on endurance rather than raw speed. Your goal is to pass a certain number of cars over a set period while dealing with changing weather and lighting conditions. You'll drive through fog, snow and nightfall, which each affect visibility and handling. There's something very trance-like about Enduro. The changing conditions give it a nice rhythm, and while the visuals are minimal, the sense of progression is clear. It's a game that rewards patience and precision more than aggression. Megamania is a fixed shooter where you face off against strange waves of enemies moving in unpredictable patterns. The designs are abstract, objects like hamburgers and bow ties, but the challenge is grounded in tight dodging and fast shooting. The scoring system encourages you to stay active and accurate. As things get faster, your reflexes are really put to the test. Megamania is a solid arcade-style game that keeps the pressure high and the gameplay focused. In Beamrider, you're defending Earth from enemy invaders as they approach along 5 horizontal beams. Enemies vary in behaviour, and you'll need to constantly move between lanes whilst timing your shots and avoiding hazards. What makes Beamrider more special is its layered movement system. You're not just dodging or shooting, you're doing both across multiple lanes. The constant decision making gives the game a nice sense of momentum and urgency. Space Shuttle is a simulation where you take control of a space shuttle launch, manage the flight and complete various phases of a mission. The mechanics are more complex than most games in the collection, focusing on systems control and precision. This one takes more time to learn. There's no traditional action or enemy threat, it's all about mastering the sequence of steps to succeed. If you're interested in slower, more technical gameplay, it offers a completely different experience from anything else here. Demon Attack drops you into a vertical shooter where waves of enemies descend in different patterns. Each level introduces new behaviours, and your job is to survive while picking off enemies before they overwhelm your position. The game is fast paced and consistently escalates the difficulty. There's no break between waves, so it's about endurance as much as skill. Demon Attack has a solid arcade feel and still manages to feel responsive and exciting. Fishing Derby is a 2-player competitive game where you try and catch fish from different depths and avoid the hungry shark that patrols the waters. The deeper the fish, the more points they're worth, but also the greater the risk. It's a simple game on the surface, but the head-to-head format creates some surprising tension. Whether you're playing solo or with a friend, it becomes a game of strategy and timing. Not flashy, but clever in its design. Private Eye mixes driving and exploration as you track down clues and retrieve stolen items across multiple neighbourhoods. The gameplay involves navigating roads, avoiding enemies, and returning evidence to the right locations. There's a good amount of complexity here, the map is larger than expected, and learning the routes is part of the challenge. It rewards careful observation and memory, and it offers a welcome change of pace from the shooters and racers on the cartridge. Jinks is a racing game where you fly a plane around a series of pylons whilst trying to beat the clock. Precision and quick reaction are key to shaving off seconds of your time. It's a tight little game with a good sense of control. The steering feels smooth, and once you get the hang of it, it becomes about improving your run through cleaner and better timing. A solid pick up and play title, this one. Prix is a time trial racing game where you're trying to complete a scrolling course as fast as possible. The track is filled with other racers, oiled slicks, and other hazards you'll need to avoid while maintaining top speed. The game rewards memorisation and consistent movement. It doesn't have a lot of complexity, but it's well paced and satisfying to play in short bursts. It's one of those titles where each retry feels like a chance to edge just a little closer to perfection. In Freeway, you control a chicken trying to cross a busy 10-lane highway. It's straightforward but surprisingly intense once the speed picks up. There's a nice rhythm to the gameplay once you get going. It's less about twitch reaction and more about timing and patience. It's simple, but it does exactly what it sets out to do, and that's oddly addictive. Crackpots has you defending your apartment building from invading bugs by dropping flower pots on them from the rooftop. Enemies crawl up from the bottom, and if too many make it through, you lose. It's a game of positioning and quick response. The pace ramps up fast, and the bugs come from multiple directions. While the setup is unusual, the gameplay loop is tight and satisfying. Starmaster puts you in command of a starship, navigating a sector map, engaging in space battles, and docking to refuel or repair damage. The interface is more complex than most games here, requiring both strategic movement and combat. The combination of map navigation and cockpit view action gives it a nice balance. It's one of the more ambitious games in the collection and offers a lot more depth for those willing to get used to the controls. Tennis is a two-player game that keeps things simple. Move, swing and aim. It offers a good sense of flow and back and forth action, even with basic visuals. The timing feels responsive and it can get surprisingly competitive. But like many early sports games, it's stripped down, but it still does capture the essence of the game well enough to be enjoyable. So that wraps up Activision Collection 1 on the Evercade. I think this is a well-rounded group of classic titles, covering a wide range of genres, from arcade shooters and racing games to simulators and puzzle-like action. It's a great way to revisit or discover some early examples of tight, focused gameplay design. So the big question is, would I recommend this cartridge? Well, if you're a fan of the Atari 2600, absolutely, fill your boots. But if you're like me, and you don't enjoy games prior to the NES so much, then it might not be for you. Another thing that perturbs me slightly is the naming convention on this one. Now they're calling it the Activision Collection 1. But all of these games are from the Atari 2600, and it's a little misleading from my perspective. I think they should really call it the Atari Collection 3. If you enjoyed the breakdown, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more Evercade content and classic game coverage. Let me know in the comments down below which titles stood out for you the most, or which one brought back memories. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.